Hello, we're here from the nosebleeds. You're listening from the nosebleeds. Thanks for being with us again. If you're watching, I really appreciate the views and the subscribers. I wish you would press that subscribe button and the bell. That way you get our notifications. Thank you for doing that if you do it. Today we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about Kliff Kingsbury from Texas Tech getting hired by the Arizona Cardinals in the NFL. This is a head coach of Texas Tech that went 35-40 at Texas Tech, got fired from his alma mater, and then hired by an NFL team, which is a really big surprise. Kale, any words on that?
Well, I think it's obvious the Cardinals are trying to find their version of Sean McVay and try to do what he's done with the Rams. But honestly, I don't think Kingsbury, it's not a very good hire. I mean, like we mentioned, he got fired from his alma mater, Texas Tech, and it just seems kind of weird to jump from a position like that to a head coach in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal, I think. I hope he does good. I like Kliff Kingsbury, but you know, it's a different kind of game. He could be a play caller. I could see him as an offensive coordinator more than a head coach. But I mean, he's young like Lincoln Riley. I mean, basically what the NFL is doing here, I think, is Lincoln Riley signed that contract. They're like, okay, let's go find the guy that's most similar to Lincoln Riley and hire him because look at Sean McVay. And then, just look at that. And let's hire Kliff Kingsbury. And then let's get the number one pick. Wait.
Part of me feels like they just kind of hired him because he was young and, like Sean McVay.
Yeah. Sean McVay's, I think he's younger than Lincoln Riley. He's like 33.
Yeah.
Which is
something like that.
That's pretty good considering how good the Rams are and all they've got a bunch of really good draft picks the last 5 to 6 years because they've been they were really bad and then they rebuild because the NFL just franchises rebuild, they fall apart and they rebuild back up again. I mean, it's just like that. So I mean, you got to expect that from Arizona to hire somebody like that just because the young coaches are now, It's pretty impressive. All right, well, now we're going to recap the national championship game last night. Depending on when you're listening to this, watching this, we're recording it. This is the day after the skull-dragging, butt-whooping of the Crimson Tide. The Tide got rolled by Clemson 44-16, and it brings a smile to my face. But Tua did not play very good. He threw a few interceptions that were very costly. Clemson was just the better team, and nobody thought that would be the case. Everybody thought it would be a close game, and they thought Alabama would win by maybe the line was 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5.
5.5. But I'm just as surprised as anybody else. I'm glad Alabama didn't run away with another national championship, but good for Clemson and Dabo Swinney and Brent Venables and that crew out down there. And Trevor Lawrence he's something else, and he's really got a good future ahead of him. Kale, what do you think about the national championship game?
Well, it's easy to look at the score and say, wow, that Clemson defense really shut down Tua in that offense. But surprisingly, not surprisingly, Alabama moved the ball really well.
They did.
They racked up 400 yards or something like that.
Yeah, they had way more yards than Clemson did.
Yeah, and they would get down to the red zone, and that Clemson defense would stop them there. And
dead cold.
Yes. And then, of course, the infamous fake field goal that everyone's been talking about lately. That was horrible.
That was worse than Kirby Smart's fake punt in the SEC championship. So, Georgia fans,
no.
You feel a little better about that?
It wasn't that bad.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Georgia had the lead. Clemson, or Alabama didn't have the lead, so they had to do something, I guess. So You're probably right, Kale. I just think it's funny.
And with their kicking game struggles that they've had all season, it's finally come to actually hurt them. And it's very obvious that was
the missed extra
a factor
point
in this game. Yeah, the missed extra point.
They have 9 missed extra points, the most in the FBS.
Yeah.
That's
pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
And on defense, Alabama's defense didn't do quite as horrible as it would seem, but they got burned on third down quite often. Clemson would flip the field on third down just about every time, it felt like. So they really just couldn't finish like that.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of yardages, a lot of big plays, and it really, really hurt them because they targeted that cornerback that CeeDee Lamb lit up in the Orange Bowl, and the what's that freshman's name on Clemson?
Ross. The wide
like
receiver?
Well, yeah, he's something else. Those 2 catches.
Oh, that guy's a superstar.
Yeah, I cannot wait to watch him in the future, and like next season, it's going to be fun to watch Clemson because they're going to recruit well. They're stacked up well. They got good defense.
And Trevor Lawrence and that receiving core we've been mentioning, it's just so dynamic and it's phenomenal. Yeah,
it's really, really phenomenal. The way they played in that game, it is. Now, they're not going to play like that every game next season, but they're going to lay eggs. I mean, every offense does, but what they can do is they can rely on that defense. The defense never lays an egg. The defense, all they have to do is show up.
Defense is losing, I don't think this will be an issue, but the defense is losing their emotional leader in Christian Wilkins.
That is true. And what's the guy that failed the drug test?
Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, that's another thing. That Clemson defensive line is so great that they lost Dexter Lawrence for these 2 playoff games and didn't miss a beat. Not a single one.
2 wins by 27 and 28 points. Think about that. You're facing off against the best teams in the land that made the playoff very respectively, and you beat them both by 28
points. Blew them
points.
out.
Bad. Killed them. Yeah. Clemson deserves a lot of respect for manhandling Nick Saban's team, and they killed him. And it was fun to watch them do that, but, man, there was no competition. It looked like at the end of that game, there was no competition.
Yeah.
All right.
That game was really... Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll go ahead and say this real quick.
But the game was really over midway through the third quarter. You could tell that Alabama team was gassed, and it just wasn't happening. And then Clemson went on a 10-minute drive in the fourth quarter to end out the game. 10 minutes, which is a school record for Clemson, by the way.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
The previous record was like 9 minutes and 40-something seconds against Maryland in like 2005 or something.
I'm surprised that doesn't. I'm surprised the biggest record goes. I wonder if it goes to Army this year against Oklahoma. But yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, Army went on one last year that was like 17 minutes or something ridiculous. It was insane.
Yeah, another fun fact. That was the most first half points scored in a national championship game.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Ever?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for all the subscribers. We're really trying to get this YouTube channel rolling, and it's fun. Yeah. And thank you, everybody. This is where we get excited about game day more than our birthday. Boomer Sooner from the Nosebleeds signing off.